lawless institution you can think of in Nigeria is the police. Talk to any Nigerian. Every Nigerian you talk to about their experience with police, it's the same story. It's the same brutality. In fact, I laughed. One of the reasons the former illegal IG was removed or was advised to go was because of journalists in Nigeria blackmailed police. Because the way they brutalize journalists, even when people are doing peaceful protests, journalists come to cover them. It would be as if they have seen their sworn enemies, because these people would, publicize what is going on and what is happening, and they would attack them, scatter their cameras, destroy everything. So it's just horrible.
Definitely, I've said it severally on this platform that police is not your friend. And the very first thing they tell you when they come to deal with you is that that police is your friend. Yeah. And once they mention that, they want to make you to loosen your guard, and then they will start brutalizing you. You catch a kidnapper, take the kidnapper to the police station. Police will beat you up, lock you up, and release the kidnapper. Personal experiences that I have had. In fact, my own sister, who has the case in Nigeria, went to the police station, and the police decided, no, we have to take this case to court. My sister called on the day that the police told her that we are supposed to go to court, and the police told her that she needs to give them money. That was when she realized that, without giving you money, this case will not end up in court. So at the end of the day, you are being brutalized, you are being exploited by the police, and then the same police will tell you that they are your friends. No security agents in Nigeria is your friend. In fact, the reason why people respect the police is not out of love or a respect for them. It is out of their brutality. That's why people respect police, because without that brutality, the institution of Nigerian police is a very corrupt institution that shouldn't exist at all. I must ask this question because I don't know. What is the minimum requirement for a Nigerian police officer? Because if they don't know the difference between criminal and civil matters, that's a basic thing that a policeman should know, and at least inform the minister that, Oga, see, this is not a police matter. It's a waste of resources. It's a waste of our resources. And it is even a crime in Western societies for you to use the security agencies for the purpose for which they are not set up.
So, yeah, I saw in 2012, one of the senior police officers in England was, dismissed because he used the police he used his position to, intimidate somebody who didn't work for him and was asking for his money. Similar thing here. And he just one statement he made. He said, "You know who I am," and that was it. Exactly. And the fact that he intimidated because of his position. Exactly. He intimidated the person who worked for him, and that was how he was dismissed and disciplined in the right way. But in Nigeria, because he's this famous quote, "Do you know who I am?"
Do you know who I am?
Has dealt so many blows on us.
Welcome to Glascast Podcast, your podcast, my podcast, our podcast. We are here again to bring you a very interesting episode like we always do. And we are glad to have you with us like we always do. And we want to remain grateful to every one of you who have shown your support by liking what we do, recommending our page to your friends and well-wishers, and getting engaged with our discussions. We want to say thank you. And we want to ask you for this special favor. We have thousands upon thousands of viewers on our page, but we have very limited number of these few viewers who comment, who follow, who like, and who subscribe to our page. And we want to ask you to show your presence in what we're doing by subscribing to our page. Try to follow us, engage with us. One thing you find in our page is that we keep everything open. We have open conversation, and we welcome your comments, your advice, your suggestions. And for the past weeks, we've been doing episodes based on popular demand. It is your choice, and we align to your choices. And one thing we do here is to bring the basic fact to every issue. As much as possible. We don't take side, we don't influence anything, but we bring out the thought-provoking analysis that helps. And like I would always say, if you have your cup of water, or if you have your popcorn, or if you have anything that helps you to relax, you are welcome to join us on this special episode of Glascast Podcast with my always exciting and fascinating team. I would always recognize the presence of the elder, the son of Glascast, we call him, the doc himself, man of many experiences. Dr. Liam, you are welcome this evening.
Thank you so much, Dr. Eze. Thank you so much. Always a pleasure.
Good to have you. And as always, Mazi Barrister Njoku.
Thank you very much.
Good to have you as well. And from the Glascast technical team, you may not see them here, but they are doing a fantastic job making sure that we bring out the best quality of analysis that will educate our followers, our listeners, and our subscribers. We want to say thank you for being around. They are waving from behind. And to you, who has always shown that level of engagement with what we do here on Glascast Podcast. You want to say, sit right there. We are going to have a very interesting discussion this evening. This week, it has been very interesting with what is happening in Nigeria. If you haven't seen that episode on 1 week, 1 trouble, it will be interesting for you to engage with that episode and tell us what you think about it, because it looks like Nigeria every week is 1 week, 1 trouble. Or maybe 1 week, many troubles. So this week, we have seen the show of power for the common citizens, for the common man, and for the political class. And at the center of all these activities is the Nigerian police. And we want to ask, what is the role of the Nigerian police? Who do they stand for? Who do they work for? Who do they represent? Is it for a politician or for the Nigerian masses? And this interesting conversation is what we want to digest deeply this evening, and we want to crave your indulgence as we look into this subject. And you can also send us your comment and your feedback so that we can reflect on emerging analysis and see where we can take it further. Nigerian police. Let's talk about Nigerian police.
Doctor, thank you so much for bringing this topic up. Nigerian police should be the major law enforcement agency in every country. And what that means is that they should ensure law and order, that law and order prevails in any given society. But when you look at Nigeria, the most lawless institution you can think of in Nigeria is the police. Because when you see an institution that is supposed to enforce law, maintain law and order, and breaking the law, at everything they do, they break the law. When they want to arrest somebody, it's torture. They take you to their police station, it's inhuman treatment. When they trump up charges against people, frame up charges, working for the politicians, that tells you all you need to know about police. I had a personal experience with police in 2014. Then I was living in Aja. I was going home.
Where is Aja?
Aja in Lagos State. Lagos State. I think it's in a Etiosa local government area. I was going home around Aja Market, and the police vehicle was driving against traffic. You know what we normally call one way in Nigeria. And they almost knocked me down, and I jumped out and said, one way. That was the only offense I committed. And they came down. Before I knew what was happening, they had already bundled me into their vehicle. When we get to the station, you will tell us who you are. I was shocked. I couldn't understand what was happening to me. I'm talking of a lawyer of many years standing, with my level of academics qualification and so on. Then I was a partner in a law firm, one of the best law firms in Nigeria then. So it tells you all you need to know. I said, okay, so please, I'm sorry if I've offended you. I'm a law-abiding citizen. I'm a lawyer. This. I brought out my complimentary card and gave to them. When they looked at it, because you're a lawyer. So the way they pushed me out from the vehicle, it was only God that saved me. And since then, I said, if as a lawyer, a PhD holder, a partner in a law firm can experience this in the hand of the police, then what hope do we have? I have made an attempt to go and bail somebody in a police station as a lawyer, and I failed completely. They wouldn't want to listen to you. They don't want to talk to you. All they want to hear is money, 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 money. And since then, I said, nothing again will ever take me to the police station. I told my family members, please, whatever is going to cost you to avoid encounter with the police, either arresting somebody or being arrested, please avoid it at all costs. And this is an institution that is supposed to, being the foremost law enforcement agency in Nigeria. We all know what happened. Was it not 2020 NSAS protest? SARS is part of the police, and people were protesting because of their brutality, because of how politicians are using them, because of how wealthy private individuals are using them to torment, to oppress the citizens whom they are supposed to protect. So it tells you all you need to know about police. So when I saw the story of what was trending of current Minister for Wars and the dealings he is having with a woman who is alleging that the minister owes her some money arising from contractual obligations and so on, I wasn't surprised, because this is their stock in trade. We can spend the whole time in podcast analyzing them, calling out what they've been doing. Talk to any Nigerian. Every Nigerian you talk to about their experience with police, it's the same story. It's the same brutality. In fact, I liked one of the reasons the former illegal IG was removed or was advised to go was because of journalists in Nigeria blackmailed police. Because the way they brutalize journalists, even when people are doing peaceful protests, journalists come to cover them. It would be as if they have seen their sworn enemies, because these people would, publicize what is going on and what is happening, and they would attack them, scatter their cameras, destroy everything. So it's just abhorrible, to be honest, to say the least.
It's just abhorrible, and we begin to ask question: where is the hope of the common man? Mazi, there is always rules of engagement, and police, as a public institution that is there to maintain civil order and maintain also law and order, to investigate, to prosecute and all these things. I don't know. It looks like the method of police engagement with members of the public has been militarized. What do you think about it?
Definitely. I've said it severally on this platform that police is not your friend. And the very first thing they tell you when they come to deal with you is that that police is your friend. Yeah. And once they mention that, they want to make you to loosen your guard, and then they will start brutalizing you. You catch a kidnapper, take the kidnapper to the police station. Police will beat you up, lock you up, and release the kidnapper. Personal experiences that I have had, just like our son has said he's I've had some personal experiences with police as well. In fact, my own sister, who has a case in Nigeria, went to the police station, and the police decided, no, we have to take this case to court. My sister called on the day that the police told her that we are supposed to go to court. And the police told her that she needs to give them money. That was when she realized that, without giving you money, this case will not end up in court. So at the end of the day, you are being brutalized. You are being exploited by the police. And then the same police will tell you that they are your friends. No security agency in Nigeria is your friend. In fact, the reason why people respect the police is not out of love or respect for them. It is out of their brutality. That's why people respect police. Because without that brutality, the institution of Nigerian police is a very corrupt institution that shouldn't exist at all.
Well, for every society, we need the police. And like you said, they deal with civil and criminal matters. And so this week, if we want to draw context here, there is an issue with a contractor who supplied equipment or souvenirs or whatever they supplied to the former deputy governor or former speaker or whatever in Ebonyi State far back 20 years ago. And this individual refused to pay them. And then when they asked question and demanded for their money to be paid, they experienced what we are talking about here, brutality. They were bundled. I learned the lady in question is breastfeeding a baby. This mother was separated from the baby and subjected to some level of inhumane treatment. The question now is, based on your legal perspective, where do you draw a line between, because the minister alleged that he has been defamed by this individual asking for their money to be paid. And I have read elsewhere that those kind of situation warrants a civil prosecution instead of a criminal prosecution. But it looks like what was supposed to be a civil prosecution has turned criminal. So I don't know if you want to throw more light on what civil prosecution entails and what criminal prosecution entails.
For the sake of argument or clarity, this transaction between the current Minister of Works, Engineer Dave Umahi, and the woman arose from a contractual relationship. Contractually, that's a civil matter. She was arrested because...
That means the police are not supposed to involve.
Obviously.
Because it's a civil matter.
It's a civil matter, contractual relationship.
We are making this clear. Yeah.
Arose because of a contractual relationship. I supplied the corporate souvenir, I wasn't paid. That was a contractual relationship, a civil matter, clear civil matter. The woman has gone out on social media and said that this man is owing me, as alleging that this man is owing me. And this man said that I was defamed. Defamation, from all my knowledge of law, is a civil matter. If you feel that somebody defamed you, the rightful thing to do is to go to court, sue the person, file your writ of summons, and serve the party their court processes, and they come to court and defend or prosecute or however it is. But because Nigeria is such a lawless country, is because Nigeria is such a lawless society. That is why a serving minister will employ a law enforcement agency that is supposed to maintain law and order to go and deal with civil matter. And criminals are running riot in Nigeria, killing people, stealing, kidnapping people. And we have the police to go arrest somebody for defamation.
You can imagine.
Clearly, or every other thing, the police that arrested her did not say that this woman stole or that this woman committed fraud or committed any crime that warrants police involvement in it. Where is the place of police in contractual relationship, defamation, and so on? Where do they come in? Why would they come in? Why would they be part of it? The answer is no. Because of our political office holders in Nigeria do not serve the masses who are their employers, who through their taxes pay them. They suppress them, they oppress them, they deal with them at every given opportunity. Otherwise, what is the relationship between you are owing me, I'm owing you, you are not owing you? How would that end up in police?
In fact, I think this thing you said here now is highly informative, that I must ask this question because I don't know. What is the minimum requirement for a Nigerian police officer?
Minimum requirement in terms of getting into the police.
In terms of getting into the police. As in before you are employed as a police officer. Because if they don't know the difference between criminal and civil matters, that's the basic thing that a policeman should know. And at least inform the minister that, Oga, see, this thing is not a police matter. It's a waste of resources. It's a waste of our resources. And it is even a crime in Western societies for you to use the security agencies for the purpose for which they are not set up.
So, yeah. I saw in 2012, one of the senior police officers in England was, dismissed because he used the police because he used his position to, intimidate somebody who did a work for him and was asking for his money. A similar thing here. And just one statement he made, he said, "You know who I am," and that was it. Exactly. And the fact that he intimidated because of his position. Exactly. He intimidated the person who worked for him, and that was how he was dismissed and disciplined in the right way. But in Nigeria, because he's this famous quote, "Do you know who I am?"
Do you know who I am?
Has dealt so many blows on us. Coming to the question you asked, do you know the minimum requirements you need to be the president of the country? Educational qualification.
Is it secondary school certificate?
You don't need to have the certificate to show that you attended a secondary school. That's a minimum requirement. Yeah.
Just to show that you attended.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
But that of the president is more political, but police is more professional. A professional body.
Was it not the president that controls the police?
Well, the president.
What the argument I want to make is at that highest level, if the requirements can be that low,
the president that you control.
If the requirements can be that low,
the country is finished.
So that's why Buhari presented the certificate he presented. Even people call this NEPA, even when he was campaigning, they say even if he presents a NEPA bill, I will vote for him. That was why he presented the certificate. I had no credit in any of the subjects.
Exactly.
He got elected.
Well, for a politician, as long as you can.
The current governor of Edo State now, have you seen his WAEC results?
Is it the one that talks nonsense on social media?
Have you seen his? Oh my God! The man not only missed having F9 in all the subjects he attempted. Not only,
and he became the governor.
He's the governor, serving governor of Edo State.
Well, like
2 days, a few days ago, he could not pronounce the national honor of President GCFR, the Grand Commander, Federal Republic of Nigeria. He couldn't. The other day, he went to present his budget in the Edo State House of Assembly. He couldn't pronounce the money he wants to raise. And
spend. Is it the same man? I saw that thing.
But let's not derail. It's all about when you talked about this qualification.
Yeah.
The people who is supervising them, who should look after them, what is their qualification?
Exactly.
Even when the law requires you to be a graduate, you can imagine the kind of graduates they will employ.
Exactly.
I learned that the current acting IG of police now studied English education.
He has no qualification for that job.
He studied English. He is qualified under the Police Act 2020, Section 7 sub 6. He says, I think 7 sub 6 or 5. He says he must be a graduate. So he has met that requirement. But in that line, there are lawyers. There are people who are more qualified
than he is.
But he's been given that position. So when you talk about qualification in Nigeria, forget about it. All the serving senators, ministers, governors, they had people who are more qualified than them.
Exactly.
Ruben Abati said the other day that Edo State had option of voting for somebody who is renowned, sound, and has been tested and trusted, and they chose this man.
But is it the electorate that voted for him in the real sense? Because that is the fundamental problem that Nigeria has. Because if you see people who are governors, and at the end of the day, you look very well and you see that they are not qualified for those positions. The normal and natural question you will ask is, how did this person get there? And then when you just, we call it opening the veil, you open it and then you see that there is a corrupt process that led to that person being there.
Well, now we are talking about the corrupt process. Like in the case of the governor of Edo State, if we don't know if it was the people that elected him, but you remember in every election, the voters decide nothing, the counters decide everything.
That's a very fraudulent statement.
Well, that's a political statement.
That means their votes don't count. And they tell you your vote counts. Let me
not go too far to Edo State. From our own state, Imo State. Since 1999, we've never had a governor who is a graduate of a university. From Achiku Denwa.
So you mean that Uzodinma? He's not a university graduate. This is my
who is his classmate?
The Hope Uzodinma is an engineer. Engineer Hope Uzodinma.
That was the honorary one.
We need to
what did he study? Where did he study? Where did he go to his own university?
Well, because I didn't prepare to talk about that. I've not done that research.
Okay, we'll come back to that.
We'll come back.
I'm not referring to them, because he's the one that I heard.
Yeah,
and he's an engineer.
Yeah, he's
I've never heard of Hope Uzodinma as an engineer.
When Udenwa was the governor of Imo State, Hope Uzodinma, as at that time, I remember Hope Uzodinma was addressed as Engineer Hope Uzodinma. Well, like I said, it's not the topic of today. We will revisit that area. But when you are talking about the Nigerian police, they are officers of the law, and it's expected that they have deeper understanding of the law, because from the explanation we gave earlier, one of the critical role of the police is the investigative powers they have. Now, if you look at this situation in question, where somebody alleged that they are being owed, and somebody alleged that they are being defamed, the role of the police is to investigate.
Exactly.
But I was astonished when I saw that the Nigerian police brought the accusers and defendants to a table to have, I don't know, is it a meeting
negotiation?
What kind of negotiation? So I want us to look into this area. Are they not supposed to, separate them, do their investigation? Since the matter is beginning to turn into something else, do their investigation. Then if it's something that would go to court, they would advise them that this matter is better resolved at the court of law. But bringing them in, when you know that these are, if I use that term, warring factions, and you brought them together to maybe stage a chaos to find a reason to detain somebody who doesn't have political power. Does it sound well for the investigative role of the police?
Doctor, when we said that, let me go. When you say that a society or an institution is lawless, what it means is that the laws are there. They should know the law. They ought to know the law. And they say ignorance
of the law
is not an excuse. So the police is a foremost law enforcement institution in Nigeria. There is a presumption. In fact, it behoves on them that they should know the law. What are they investigating? Not civil matters. At least there should be an allegation that a crime has been committed before they move in for investigation, or suspicion that a crime has been committed, or somebody made a report to them of commission of a crime before they move in. Them turning to an arbitrator in a civil matter, a negotiator or mediator, whatever they call themselves, or in whatever disguise they want to parade themselves, is lawlessness in its entirety. That is not within their jurisdiction. It is not. I have not seen in any society, even here in the UK where we are, there are some things you think, a crime has been committed. You call police, they will tell you, no, this is not a crime. Especially if you are involved in an accident now, they will tell you, this is an insurance matter. Speak to your insurance. These things are clearly delineated. They know what they should do and what they should not do. They can't just go and involve themselves in civil matters. So the police they should know. They go to police training, but because they are lawless, they don't want to obey the law. They are serving their paymasters. They are serving the politicians. They are serving the people who appointed them. Engineer Dave Umahi is a serving minister. Because of his position, whatever he tells the police to do, they will do. So it's lawlessness.
Well, lawlessness. Well, I want to take you on this, the son of Glascast, and I believe you have your own opinion on this subject. When we are talking about the lawlessness of the police, we also talk about the lawlessness of the people, because there is something that we cannot take away from the Nigerian society. So apart from the fact that Dave is a minister of the Federal Republic, there are individuals, landlords in Nigeria used police to intimidate their tenants. If somebody has money to make, I've seen situations where somebody will say, you see, I will take you to the police station, and I will make sure that you sleep at the police station for 5 days. Okay. And they will, the citizens are also, apart from the politicians, the citizens are also using the police.
Let me cut you short.
Yeah.
If I'm a police officer and a very wealthy landlord comes to me and said, I want to deal with this tenant. Please come and go and get him arrested. and I say, this is a civil matter. There are process and procedure of how to eject tenants from your house, serve the requisite notice, and go to court. What do you think will happen?
Well, the landlord will go with his money, and the policeman or the policewoman needs the money.
That's bringing us to another thing. That you need the money does not entitle you to be lawless.
Let me even ask Doc, what do you mean by he needs the money?
Yeah, because
He needs the black money.
because the person that is threatening people is this. What I'm saying here is popular in Nigeria. That I will, you know what? I won't even keep you. Like, this lady was taken from the east to Abuja. People have common land disputes.
Dr. Eze,
somewhere in Imo State, somebody will arrest them from Abuja just to intimidate them.
Dr. Eze, the essence of law is to protect the vulnerable,
exactly,
the less privileged, the poor in the society.
But the case is the opposite.
The case is the opposite now. Nigeria is now oppressing them with the instrumentality of the law that is supposed to protect them. So that the society, it is known that thing is bound to happen where there is no law. That the strong, the rich, the elites who oppress the poor, the vulnerable, the less privileged. It's not everybody that is privileged to be rich or poor. Probably I'm not as strong as you are physically. That doesn't give you the right to draw me out of this studio and beat me up. I'm protected by law. You and I can go into business by fortune or by divine intervention. You might do better than I do. The law does not protect you or does not allow you to oppress me because you are now richer than me. Because you have made more money, you have money, you can talk to the police. That's why the law is there. Even when we are studying elementary law, they say court is the last hope of the common man to protect everybody. Once anybody who wants to swallow you, wants to, grab you, deal with you, you run to court. The instrumentality of the law, court protects you. So that is the same way police should also operate, even be more amenable to protecting the poor, the less privileged, the vulnerable, the weak in the society. So if the wedding landlord says, okay, this tenant, I don't like his face, so again, I need to kick him out of my house. The law provides steps which you will take to eject that tenant, not bundling the tenants out of the house. Otherwise, people would, if I don't agree with you, I can go to your house, knock at your door, bring you out and beat you up, and nothing will happen. That's not the society. They are not talking of animal kingdom.
Son, I entirely agree with you. The Nigerian police is terrible. Here, my previous car, somebody hit it the other day, and I called 999. When I called 999, the police asked me, is somebody hurt? I said, no. Is your car movable?
Yeah.
I said, yes. They asked, are you people blocking the way? I said, no. I said, as in they said, it's not police matter. Call your insurance. Full final stop. That was the end of the story. You understand? If you look at Nigerian police, I have tried to make this point. At what stage do you people think, based on the history of the Nigerian police, that they were doing the thing for which police is supposed to be set up? In our history, I can tell you that there was none, absolutely none, since the inception of the police. Remember that police is a vestige of the colonial police. It's an inheritance from the colonial police, and it was the colonial police that was used for the subjugation of our people, of our mothers. During the time of Aba Women Riot, what do you think that happened there? It was the security agencies that subjugated them. It was the security agencies that dealt a heavy blow on our people. And those same security agencies, just the personnel continued to change, but the institution remained the same. So at the end of the day, you don't expect any surprises from them. Look at NSAS. You have said it here. The reason for NSAS was clear. Everybody knew who was convicted, which police officer was people died during NSAS. That one is basic. Which police officer was convicted during NSAS?
None.
Absolutely none. Do you know that such a thing cannot happen in this society?
Yeah.
It can never happen. Why is it happening in Nigeria because the police as an institution needs a revolution.
You mean the Showere's revolution now in the police?
Even if you look at it very well, you will see that every right-thinking person knows that the status quo is not working. Yeah, and you can't correct it for it to be there. You can't correct it. The reason you can't correct it is just like saying that you can. When we were growing up, if a house is dirty and your mom tells you to go and clean the house, and you bring a bucket of water to go and mop the floor, you'll be flogged. You'll be dealt with because you are supposed to sweep it first. Sweep out the dirt. And then, while clean the floor, you understand? You can't be cleaning sand with mop. So at the end of the day, there is no way you can correct the Nigerian police office or police force. You can't correct it. What you need is to remove that institution and entirely replace it. Can you do that in Nigeria? No, you can't. It's not possible.
Yeah, when we look at our dear President Tinubu, in the aftermath of the removal or the sack or the forceful resignation, as some people have it, of the so-called illegal IG. according to Showore, the removal of the illegal IG, the president have asked for that much needed police reform. People have called it in different names, state police and all that. Do you think that what the president is emphasizing in this case could be maybe a way of restructuring the institution of policing in Nigeria? How do you see that area?
One of the things that as a Biafran that I want to happen, is for the authority of the police to be divested. That's one of the things that I want to happen. Because what happens today is that you are in Imo State and the head of the police knows absolutely nothing about the geography of Imo State. Everybody knows that security is local. You understand? You have to get the confidence of the locals in the place for them to be informing you, see this person, we think he's an untoward individual. But you are the head of the police. You are from Katsina, and you are the head of the police in Imo State. And they put you there because of nothing but control. That's the only thing. Because the person who will appoint you is from Abuja. That person who will put you there. And if you make noise, they deal with you. So at the end of the day, divesting that institution to make it local is better, as far as I'm concerned, it's better than the way it is now.
Okay, Dr. Eze, I think Buhari Tinubu, you are dear President.
Our dear President.
You are dear President Tinubu, President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, calling for state police at this stage is what I call political gimmick.
Okay, tell us more.
All I'm telling you is that because a lot of people have been talking about state police, and so on, and we are now less than 1 year to the general election. He wants to throw out something to them to, make them feel that I'm working, that he's doing something. Do you know what it takes to amend the Nigerian Constitution? You know what it takes to amend the Nigerian Constitution?
Nigerian Constitution has been under amendment for the past almost 20 years.
Good. And we are going into general election in less than 12 months. And I will tell you, once officially the campaign is lifted for people to go into campaign, governance ends in Nigeria.
Exactly.
And that is going to take place in the next 2 months.
Exactly.
Both those of them in National Assembly, State Assembly, who are going to amend this constitution, will retreat to campaign, moving from one state to the other.
Exactly.
So this thing is not going to happen. And once Buhari Tinubu captures the presidency in 2027, that's the end of it.
It's a gimmick.
It's a political gimmick. Yeah. So he has been there for 3 years.
Why didn't he do it?
Why didn't he stay? And from the one he entered into office, insecurity, brutality, operation by police has been on there.
Exactly.
So why is he coming less than 12 months to the next general
Don't
election?
you think he was dealing with other more important?
What other more important thing has he done?
Subsidy and other.
The primary duty of every government is protection of life and property. It's only when you protect life and property that then you move to the other rights of individuals.
Exactly.
Because it's the only person who is alive that would,
We've been involved in subsidy.
Yeah, that we join the subsidy. Yeah. So which other thing is more important than securing life and property of people? And insecurity has bedeviled Nigeria from day one. Tinubu entered into office, and he's talking about state police that is telling people to make constitutional amendment. And there is no official, to the best of my knowledge, except I'm wrong, it's not like he has officially
send any amendment
as what is it called? Is this the executive bill?
Yeah, to the National
Assembly.
He has not done that
for the constitutional amendment.
But does he need to send it? Constitutional amendment in Nigeria has been on, I think.
No, it has to be properly, it has to be formally proposed. Now, you cannot just come to the market square and say, I'll go to National Assembly to go and amend the law. Somebody has to sponsor that bill. That's how it's passed. It's going to be a bill.
It's done through sponsorship.
It's through a process.
But the expectation is that the amendment, no matter how long it takes, would amend every section of the constitution, especially the
except you can't be amending all the whole section.
You can amend only a section.
Only a section. If you're talking about amending all the whole section, then it's as good as
making a new
constitution, which will probably you would love to.
Which is what Nigerians.
So that's as far as I'm concerned, that's a political gimmick. It's not going to go any far. But Omaz, I agree with you that if police is decentralized, things will look better in terms of localizing police. But the question is that the brutality, the oppression, the suppression, will that end?
No, the reason I said that is because when you hand over the authority of choosing the personnel of the police to locals, I believe more control will come in. Because if it is clear, it has been clear now that the police, in fact, the information was coming from where I come from. The police are involved in the kidnapping of people. Some of the crime that they label on separatists, police people were committing it. It's on the news. They were those responsible. I can show it to you.
You see, Maz, the thing is that this proposed amendment to allow for state police, that is why I said is a political gimmick. We have not even seen what is being proposed.
Exactly.
Whether it's still going to be the president who will be appointing the commissioners in various states or the governors. You know, in some, I think in US, some police positions are elected. So we don't even know.
Even in the UK,
we don't even know what this proposed state police will look like, because there has not been anything to tell us what it's going to look like. So it might be at the end of the day we have a state police, and if it's still going to be in that constitution, it's going to also be probably they will have a state police that is an exclusive legislative list. But I'll see the controlled by.
That's not decentralization now. What you do?
Unfortunately, we are all speculating on the political gimmick that this man has thrown to us.
If you look at it this way, because I think the idea of state police is just a way of formalizing maybe a certain aspect of what has been existing already. Because if you go to the southeast today, we have Ibubago, we have ESN. If you go to
ESN is not is that not the military arm of IPOB?
Well, I don't know if it's. I think from my knowledge of ESN, it was Eastern Security Network, which is meant to be a vigilante group that would
the whole of Eastern Nigeria.
For the Eastern Nigeria, that would remove criminals from the forest and all these things. So it looks more like a policing activity within the southeast. I mean, the activities of ESN. And if you go to the southwest of Nigeria, if you use that three-dimensional analysis of Nigeria, in the west there is a Moteku who has been doing this job, and if you go to the north, there is the Hisba police. All these things are there. And when you are talking about the knowledge of the local environment, the Amoteco, they understand what is happening within the environment where they operate, because they are indigenous from those areas.
Dr. Eze, let me tell you, policing is not an ad hoc thing. It's supposed to be comprehensive. All these networks, Amoteku, ESN you've mentioned, are more like an ad hoc thing because of the high level of insecurity, kidnapping, unknown gunmen, all those kind of things. But when you talk about policing, it has to be comprehensive, dealing with all kinds of crime. These people you mentioned, these vigilantes, they don't deal with petty criminals. They don't deal with all those other small crimes that the police, take care of in terms of criminal activities. They are looking at high-profile criminal cases, and that's what they have been doing. And this ad hoc things you mentioned, Amoteku, ESN, they don't have prosecutorial powers to prosecute. In the Constitution, in the Constitution, the police and other laws, the police act, they have the power to prosecute. But these ones, they don't have it. It's a case of, they tell you, there is a hideout for kidnappers here. They go there, find anybody, or they don't find anybody. They say, we have scattered them. And there it ends. But when you catch this criminal, what do they do with them? A criminal should go to court and answer for his crimes.
Ordinarily, they're supposed to hand him or her to the police.
So these are just ad hoc things happening here and there. What we're talking about is a comprehensive state policing that would, secure lives and properties in the states.
I remember that these vigilante groups that came up because of the vacuum created by this national police that we have.
Yes.
Because if the police in the first place were local, there wouldn't be any need for
those kind of things you are talking about.
Maybe because police is there is misplaced priority in policing in Nigeria, where police is going to look for who owes who, or who defends who, and they, instead of and they leave their responsibility for non-state.
Honestly, we are laughing over this thing, but it's not a laughing matter to use an institution like police for a purpose for which it was not meant for.
Yeah, and the way you're talking about the use of institution of the police for the purpose that is not meant for. I want to go back to where we started on the subject of the Minister for Works in Nigeria. And is it not a shameful thing that police is getting involved in situation where somebody is alleged that an individual is chasing after somebody's wife, asking them to come and sleep, and and police is putting their face in that kind of situation. Is that shameful?
Dr. Eze, I am not in charge of anybody's moral life. So some people promise that they can procure a shower for Engineer Omahe. So if he wants them to procure that for him, it's up to him. But what I'm talking about is serious matters of police institutions and what they are supposed to do. Do you know the former Home Secretary, Suella Braverman?
Yeah.
You know why she resigned in her previous role? She used her personal email to send an official communication. In your workplace, if you use your office phone call and make a private call, you're going to be sacked for it.
Exactly.
If you use your laptop, in fact, it's blocked. You can't use your office laptop to send a Yahoo email to your personal email. You cannot use your office laptop to make a team calls outside your team. And if you attempt it, your IT people will call you out, and if they take you to your line manager, you are going to submit your laptop to the IT desk from that call, and you are going home. And we are talking about police going to go and arrest a woman who alleged that Dave Omahe wanted to sleep with me, or I worked for him, he didn't pay me, and he defamed me. Come on.
Well, I believe you
have. It's just I don't know how we got to this place and be talking about this thing. A police
and the minister, because in certain society, why police would I think the first position of the police is to recommend for Dave Umahi to step aside from public role while they investigate.
No. I wouldn't say that, because police is not even supposed to be involved in the first place. Keep in mind,
the issue is civil.
This is not. There is no place of police in this matter.
But what the lady in question is alleging, in law, it could be criminal, isn't it? Sexual harassment.
The lady said that Umahi sexually harassing her
for saying that if you have to come and sleep with me before you get your money.
Fine and
is
good.
it not abuse of power and sexual harassment?
Yeah, you are right. But this woman didn't report this thing to the police when that happened. She did not. Did she? The answer is no, she did not. So if you are reversing it, yes, sexual harassment is a crime, can be reported for that. But Dave Umahi has a principal, who is the president. And that's why I talk about leadership. The person at the head matters so much. And if you try that kind of a thing in this country, what your principal will tell you is you have to resign and we look into this matter. And from that, your resignation, you are not going to smell any political office again for your entire life. I remember a former defense secretary in this country in 2015. You know how she resigned? I can't remember his name. I will Google it and get his name now. It's not, I'll get his name. You know why he resigned? A woman alleged that when they went for a dinner, that he touched her knee and she was very uncomfortable about it. That the man propositioned that they went for a dinner, that the man touched her knee. The woman was defense secretary during
I think it also affected at some point a deputy prime minister under Theresa May, when somebody alleged that they were, they touched their leg, and so although maybe I don't know if the woman was properly advised when this situation happened, but it wasn't the high point of the case. But when you are looking at, when you talk of morality in public office, I think it warrants being investigated to know if somebody is abusing their political power and harassing people in that manner. But I think it's a topic we can always come back to. And I believe you that have been following this conversation, you have your own side of the story, and we would want to hear from you. Get to us through the comment section. Let us know what you feel about this particular topic. Have you had this experience of people abusing their power? Have you had the experience of being unlawfully detained for a civil matter that is not even supposed to go to the police until it turns criminal? Have you experienced all these kind of situations? You can let us know in our comment section, and you can also send us private email. Our email account is on our pages, and we can pick some of the subjects and address them on this platform. While we wait for Elder to give us that.
Yes, the name is Michael Fallon. Michael Fallon resigned, saying his behavior fell short of high standards that we require of the armed forces.
Good. So, that is to tell you that, this is somebody, a senior government figure, and just because there is an allegation of harassment, this individual had to resign this position. And I believe it is time we begin to get things right in Nigeria, from the police, from the political leadership, from the citizens as well. If you are that citizen that use police to intimidate people, or even some people go beyond the police, they use army to intimidate people, I think you need to have a rethink. Let us know what you think about this subject in our comment section, and we would always come back to address issues that are arising based on popular demand. And you would agree with us that this evening has been a very interesting conversation. When the elder is here, elder will always tell you the position of the law. Elder, what do you want to say about, as your concluding?
My concluding remark is, Nigerian police, they need to sit up. And those who are the helm of the affairs, they need to know what they are doing and know why the institution of police is established. They need to be law-abiding, because you cannot be a law enforcement agency and be breaking the law at every slightest opportunity. They should know their duties and responsibilities and stay within it and stop meddling into civil matters. And our political office holders need to do better. They need to do better, to be honest. At every point, they fall below the standard that is required of them. They are not showing as role models. They are not showing as people whom their behavior is worthy of emulation. I mean, they need to do better if Nigeria should move forward.
They need to sit up and do better. Mazi, do you have anything to add to what Elder have said?
You know, my position is always factual. And as a result of that, I will have to say what happens in Nigeria. The police is not your friend. If you doubt me, check whether if a thief comes to your house today and you call 999 or 911 or whatever number that they have given to you, check it whether they will come. The police will not come. Even they will tell you, Oga or Madam, send us money, make we put fuel for our car. That's what they will tell you. They will never be there. The Nigerian police is not for you. Not only 999 when a crime is happening in your house. Have a case to go to court. Police will tell you we don't have fuel in our car. They say bail. One of the things you will see that bail is free. It's free. But in Nigeria, is bail free? No, bail is not free. So at the end of the day, Nigeria is a terrible place with its institutions, including police. So I'm sorry, it is not something that you can solve. It is not something that, as far as I'm concerned, amending the Police Act or amending the Constitution can solve. The institution needs to come down. The institution needs to go. The Nigerian police needs to go. It is an oppressive institution that does not deserve to exist.
Well, you've heard from the Elder and you've heard from Mazi, and if I may borrow some of what Elder said, we need to sit up. You that is listening to us, if you are misusing that public institution, the police in Nigeria, you need to sit up. And if you are that police officer, I believe the new IG is following up with what is happening around the society. Everyone needs to sit up. And I'm sitting up here telling us this evening that it has been a very interesting conversation with my colleagues on this platform. And I'm assuring you that we are coming back with more interesting episode, and would encourage you to continue to engage with Glascast Podcast. And like I will always say, your podcast, make sure you are subscribing to our page, you are following us, you are sending us those comments and feedback. We want to hear from you so that we'll learn more on what we do from this studio. And from myself and the team here, the entire Glascast team, the Elder, the Mazi, and you that has been part of what we are doing here. Till we meet again, have a good time.
Thank you very much.